Okay, Shalom. We back in the word of the Most High. We're in the Apocrypha. I wanted to go back over something because, a lot of scholars say that the Apocrypha is not valid, it's not canon and so forth. So I want to go into First Maccabees 4. This is when Judas Maccabees and his brethren and his men dedicated the temple back to the Israelites. And here we are in First Maccabees, the fourth chapter, and verse 56. And it reads, "And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise." See? So, as we're reading in First Maccabees 4:56, and so they kept the dedication. They kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. Okay. Verse 59, "Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their seasons from year to year by the space of 8 days. From the 25th day of the month Caslu, which is Esau's 12th month, with mirth and gladness." Okay? So that's the 25th day of the 12th month, our 12th month. But it don't go by Esau's calendar. We go by the new moon. We count from the new moon. We count from the new moon 25 days after the new moon. That's when the Feast of Dedication is. And generally it's in the late fall, the beginning of winter, sometime in the winter. Sometime it'll be around same time as Esau's Christmas. So I want to show you, because they be saying that it's not valid. So let's see what Mashiach Yahushai honored. Go to St. John 10:22. Okay? St. John 10:22. "And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter." See? Same dedication that Judas ordained. The days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year, from the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness, which is our 9th month, which is Esau's 12th month. St. John 10:22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter. See? Around that same time. Mashiach walked in the temple in in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, "How long dost thou make us to doubt? How long are you going to make us doubt? If thou be Hamashiach, tell us plainly." They ain't asking me if he's Yahushai or Jesus or any name that you use concerning those names. But there's only one Messiah. There's only one anointed. If thou be Hamashiach, tell us plainly. That's the anointed, the Messiah. Mashiach answered them, "I told you, and you believe not." So I told you, you ain't believe me. "The words that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you." So you don't believe me because you're not of my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father, the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. We agree. So I just want to show you that Mashiach Shai observed the feast of dedication that Judas Maccabees and his men declared that we would honor 8 days of gladness, having a good time. Moreover, let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 1st chapter, and the 30th verse. 1st Ezra, the 1st chapter, so like your 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra, the 1st chapter, the 30th verse. It says, because they said, Mashiach Shai never quoted from the Apocrypha. He only quoted from the Old Testament, which Apocrypha is the Old Testament. Let's see. Second Ezra 1 and 30. I gathered you together as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings. I gather you together as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings. But now, what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. See? So they saying that Mashiach Shai never quoted anything from the Apocrypha. So let's go to Matthew the 23rd chapter. Matthew the 23rd chapter. Let's see if he did. And verse 37. He said, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee, wicked Israelites. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings. Isn't that what we just read? And ye would not. Hear that? 2nd Ezra 1 and 30. I gathered you together as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings. But now, what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. See? He quoted that. Second Ezra 1 and 31. When ye offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. For your solemn feast days, your new moons, and your circumcisions have I forsaken. I sent you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain. This is what he said. And torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. Thus said the Almighty Power. Your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind does stubble. Go back to Matthew 23. Let's read it again. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, is that what you just read, and stonest them which were sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your houses is left unto you desolate. See? Let's look at Luke 13 and 34. Luke 13, 34. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killeth the prophets, and stoneth them that are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered my children together? This is in red, of Mashiach Shai's words. As a hen doth gather her brood under her wings, and ye would not. See? Let's go to Matthew 23. Go back to Matthew 23, 34. It says, wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wing, but ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. That's real, man. It's desolate in Israel. Most I say he was going to do it, and he done it. He made it happen, for real, for real. From there, we're going to look at 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. Let's read 2nd Ezra 1 and 32. I sent unto you my servants the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. The same thing we're reading about what Apocrypha is talking about in Matthew 23 and 34 to 38, what we just read. So he is quoting from the Apocrypha. It's the same thing. The Apocrypha existed before he came in the flesh on the earth. And he knew it was written. I mean, he's the word of the Most High. The spirit of Mashiach, the prophets had. So Ezra's had the spirit of Mashiach, which is the spirit of the Most High. So we're looking at 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. Look at 2nd Ezra 7, and we're going to look at verse 26. It said, behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth. And that bride is the 12 tribes of Israel. 1/3, mind you. And whosoever is delivered from the aforesaid evils shall see my wonders. Right? Look at verse 28. For my son, Mashiach Yahushai, shall be revealed with those that be with him. So here he is in the Old Testament. And my son, Mashiach Yahushai, there it is, shall be revealed with those that be with him. They say you don't see it in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, Mashiach Yahushai or Jesus Christ, there he is. And my son, Jesus, or Mashiach Yahushai, shall be revealed with those that be with him. And they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. So that's like between the time of the Persian Mede Empire when Ezra was living, going to be 400 years before Mashiach Yahushua would come in the flesh. After these years shall my son, Mashiach. You got Jesus, you got Christ, both there. For those that need to hear that. In the Old Testament. After these years shall my son, Mashiach, die. See? And all men that have life, that know this truth. So there he is right there. So if you don't have it, you don't know anything about that. You don't know anything about, because the main thing that they deal with, they don't deal with history. So most people don't know anything about history, his story. Look at 2nd Ezra, the 12th chapter, and the 29th, let's see, your 29th verse. And whereas thou sawest 2 feathers under the wings passing over the head that is on the right side, giving understanding of the prophecy, dealing with America, Democrats and Republicans, it signifies that these are they whom the highest have kept unto their end. See, the last kingdom that would be ruling, as it says in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world. So the Most High have kept until their end. This is the small kingdom and full of trouble, as thou sawest. And the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle. What's the symbol of America? For the soul white man, the eagle. And rebuking her for her unrighteousness, and rebuke her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard, all the blasphemy. That you look at the other lessons I brought concerning this, they blaspheme the word of the Most High, and the Most High, with all the words which thou hast heard. Look at that lion. Go to Revelations 5 and 5. Who that lion is. Revelation 5 and 5. And when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd. I got you wrong. That's Salakia. Okay, here we go. My Bible is put together, and that page is opposite. Revelation 5 and 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. When you read Hebrews 7:14, it says, for it is evident that our power, Mashiach Yahushua, sprang out of Judah. So here he is. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, don't be crying. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, have prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. Okay? That's our power of Mashiach Yahushua. So now when you see here, in verse 31, it says, and the lion whom thou sawest, which is the lion of the tribe of Judah, of Mashiach Yahushua, whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle, speaking to Esau, the Edomites, and rebuking her for her unrighteousness. Remember what it said in Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7, we rid ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. We have gone through way deserts where there lay no way. As for the way of the Most High and Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. So rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard. Listen, this is the anointed. This is a Mashiach, means anointed. This is Hamashiach, which the highest have kept for them and for their wickedness until the end. That's why he told, David said, hey, Psalm 110:1, the Most High said unto my power, Hamashiach Yahushai, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. As it says, this is the anointed. This is Hamashiach, the anointed. That's what that means. Which the highest have kept for them and for their wickedness until the end. He shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. Hear that? He will upbraid them with their cruelty. For he shall set them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and correct them, put them in captivity, slavery, and bondage. For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy those that have been preserved upon my borders, and he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning. This is the dream that thou saw, and these are the interpretations. Thou only hast been meet or right to know this secret of the highest. So certain things are the secret of the Most High. Therefore write all these things that thou hast seen in a book, and hide them. So he told Ezra to write all these things he have seen in a book and hide it away from people. And teach them to the wise of the people. Only teach this to the wise of the people, whose hearts, whose minds thou knowest may comprehend. And keep these secrets. Keep these secrets. So I say some things are not exposed to the whole world. But wait thou, that's all I want on that. But he said, keep these secrets. Give some to the wise that you think can understand this, and hold it back. 2 Ezra 13 and 1. So you will never get this if you don't ever open up the Apocrypha to see what's in here. I mean, there's prophecies of these end times that we're in now. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on right here. It says, 2 Ezra 13 and 1. This is Mashiach Yahushua and the chariots coming to deliver Israel. Yasharallah. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. See, we understand. Go to, he dreamed a dream, right? So go to Job 33:14. For the Most High speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. So when a man sleep, the Most High have them to dream, and he openeth the ears of men to seal up their instruction, tell them what they're going to do, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. You're going to do exactly what the Most High tell you to do. He done told you in a dream. Some of you don't even remember it. You might even remember it, but you get up and do just what he did. What he said. So, going back to 2 Ezra 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, the angels of heaven, thousands. This is Mashiach Yahushua, coming with 200 million angels. Tell you that in Revelation 9:16. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that was seen unto him. Remember, he ain't coming as no man. Everything trembled that was seen unto him. Don't worry about seeing him. You ain't never got to worry about seeing him. Don't worry about nobody telling you that he came back and you missed him. Go to Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh. Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. The clouds are the chariots, the IFOs, the identified flying objects, what they call the flying saucers. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. So they're going to be here too. All you that don't believe in rich generation, he say, and they also which pierced him. The Roman soldiers are going to be here too. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. See? So, don't worry about seeing him, because everybody going to see him. It says, everything trembled that was seen unto him. That's why I say they will. They gonna tremble. Don't that go right along with what we just read in the Apocrypha? Trembling. They're gonna be crying because of him. Go to Isaiah 47:3. You say the cruelty, you say you're going to meet them because of the cruelty and all the unrighteousness that they've done. The Edomites. Here they are again in Isaiah 47:3. Babylon, this Babylon. Now talk about Babylon of ancient times. Talking about Babylon right here. Like America and the Edomite nation that's superpower of the earth. Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. See, all the things that they done, like you just said, the cruelty and the unrighteousness that they've been doing and abominations and so forth, going to be seen. So I will take vengeance. That's what we read about. I'm going to take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. That's why it tells you. And you can come in as no man. He said, Second Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, 200 million angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. You hear that? Everything trembled that was seen under him, Mashiach Yahushua. They're going to be trembling. Look at Isaiah 31:5. You saw he coming back. As birds flying. Now, birds flying that V formation. As birds flying, so will the most high power of hosts, Senator Mashiach Yahushua, defend Jerusalem, defend the Israelites. Defending also, he will deliver it. He going to save us. And passing over, he will preserve it. He's going to preserve us. That's what we're reading about. Look. 2 Ezra 13:4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Hear that? When his voice came out, remember, he ain't meet him as a man. So what kind of superpowers he have? It's from the Most High, y'all. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. See? That's the army, the navy, the marines, the air forces of all nations. A multitude of men that's gathered together, going to be gathered together to fight a Mashiach Yahushua when he come back. To redeem the 12 tribes of Israel. 1/3, mind you. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region, seen this mountain or place, where out the hill was graven, and I could not. Because it's not a mountain or a hill. Mountain represent kingdoms. It's representing the children of Israel. After this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid. The army, the navy, the marines, and air force of all these nations are going to be afraid, and yet does fight. Yet they're going to fight. This future prophecy. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, with all the ordinances that have, most likely going to build them up so that it be a great galactical battle. And on this earth. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. So that upon an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So a lot of people can't hear this. Y'all can't believe this, right? No way that they're going down. That's why, you look at, you say, ain't no way you bringing us down. That's the thought. But it is what it is. I mean, and look at Obadiah, verse 3. This is 21 verses pertaining to Edom by the prophet Obadiah, wrote in the spirit of Mashiach. Obadiah 3. The pride of thine heart, mine have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks. The last clefts of the rock they dwelt in was the Caucasus Mountains, between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea in South Georgia, Russia, whose habitation is high. They had to build those high-rising buildings. That said in his heart, that said in his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's pride. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, remember the lion is rebuking the eagle. The lion I just showed you, that was Mashiach Yahushua rebuking them. Most High preserved them for the last kingdom to rule in the earth. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, they got the star, the space station out there. Thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. That's what he said. So going back to 2 Ezra 13. As the Most High have a Mashiach come, he said gonna be, once he finished with them, it's gonna be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. Look at Psalms 37 and 20. But they took the Apocrypha out of the Bible, saying it's not legit. It's too legit. Psalms 37 and 20. But the wicked, and it tells you the wicked, defined in Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He, who's the wicked, covered the faces of the judges thereof. Cover the faces of the judges thereof. Cover the faces of the judges thereof. Cover the faces of the judges thereof. Number one judge, the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua. If not, where and who is it, it says. This is what it says, Psalms 37 and 20. You know, a picture with 1,000 words, right? But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Most High shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke, shall they consume away. Like we just read, it's going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. That's the end result. Oh yeah. So it's the same as what you're seeing in the Apocrypha. We read about it, but it coincides right with what the Bible's saying. And see, most people don't know, so therefore they don't know. Look, Isaiah 30, 27 and 28. Isaiah the 30th chapter, 27 and 28. Behold, the name of the Most High cometh from far, burning with anger. Hear that? Burning with anger. And the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation. You know what's coming out of his lips. And his tongue as a devouring fire. Now we just read in 2 Ezra 13, 9 and 10. Let's read it again. You will tell me this is not accurate? 2 Ezra 13 and 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips, as it's saying here, a flaming breath. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Okay? Isaiah 30 and 27. Behold, the name of the Most High cometh from far. From far. Burning with his anger. And the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue is a devouring fire. Hold that. Get Revelation 19 and 13. Verse 11 let you know Mashiach Shai coming to make the judge and make war. Okay? So, Revelation 19, 13. And he was clothed with the vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed with fine linen and white and clean. And out of his mouth, again, goeth a sharp sword. We already read about that sword. Blast of fire and what is it? The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. That's that sword. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite or kill the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, the laws of the Most High. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power. Isaiah 30 and 28. And his breath, as an overflowing stream, shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. See, that's from the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, sending his only begotten Son to make sure it go down as it is written. Let's continue. Ye shall have a song as in the night, when a holy solemnity is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of the Most High, to the mighty one of Israel. And the Most High shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lighting down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempests and hailstones. For through the voice of the Most High shall the Assyrian be beaten down with smoke with a rod. And in every place where the grounded staff shall pass, which the Most High shall lay upon him, it shall be with tabrets and harps, and in battles of shaking will he fight with it. See? So, for Tobret is ordained of old, for the king it is prepared. He hath made it deep and large. The pile thereof is fire and much wood. You put wood on fire, it's going to burn like crazy. The breath of the Most High, like a stream of brimstone, does kindle it. You know, it's like consuming fire. He said, I am my follower at once, so don't get it twisted. Isaiah 42 and 13. Isaiah 42 and 13. The Most High, while Mashiach shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. You know what the Most High say? He's long time holding his peace. God of Mashiach sitting on the right side waiting to put his enemies under his footstool. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. Wow. Only women know that. You women know about that. Say, now will I cry like a travailing woman. A woman that's having contractions, having a baby. And they fall apart, they get closer and closer and closer. They holler. Travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. Hear that? He's going to destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills. and dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools, and I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. That's what he's doing now. This is us right there, bringing us out of darkness into the light. Those that have eyes to see. Come out of obscurity, come out of the ignorance of not knowing. Understand this and overstand this. This is very, very important. Look at the book of Daniel's. Let me see if I want to. I might want to bring forth how it all went down. Yeah, let's look at before we go there. Let me show you what happened. Go to Acts, the first chapter, the 9th verse. Acts, the first chapter, the 9th verse. Now, Mashek Shai, mind you, the Romans, the so-called Italian, Caucasian, killed him. The white man killed him. And he rose on the third day, and he walked the earth for 40 days. Now, this is when you're going to ascend to the right side of the Most High. The angels coming to get him, bring him to the Most High. But Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken, these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Right? A cloud received Mashiach Yahushua out of their sight. So look at 2nd Ezra 13, 29 to 32. Second Ezra 13, chapter 29, verse 29 to 32. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. So let's read Acts 1 and 10. And while they looked steadfast toward heaven, they looked up in the sky. As he went up in a cloud, which is a chariot, which is an IFO, identified flying objects. I know you unidentified objects, but IFO. And while they looked steadfast toward heaven, they look up in the sky. As he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, 2 angels, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why standeth thou, ye gazing up into heaven? Why are you looking up in heaven? This same Mashiach Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. That's why we read Revelation 1 and 7. You're going to come with the clouds. You're going to ascend from the clouds. So now, 2nd Ezra 13 and 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another. One